Let's move on to part 2 of the instructions, the motor assembly. Now pages 6 and 7 of the instructions show us the parts that we'll use. These parts were purchased through Lego's Pick-a-Brick website, and we have part numbers and descriptions in the spreadsheet that's linked in the description below. Now this motor assembly is just one solution. In the spirit of DIYnamics, feel free to modify. Your goal as you modify or design from scratch is to place the motor to drive the tire, of course, to drive the tire so that it engages with the rubber edge of the OXO and therefore turns the turntable. And that's what we did to guide. So as you go through, if you make substitutions or changes, that's what your goal is, turning the OXO tank. Great, let's get started. All right, first we'll take our cheese plate, and I'm going to scroll ahead just to get a sense of where I'm going. So I've got my cheese plate here, and then we've got our beams. Those are the beams with the zip ties, and we're going to put those in place. Looks like we put some pegs in and put them into the cheese board or the cheese plate. All right, great. So looks like I'll place pins in the end of our zip tie beams. And then put those beams into the cheese board. Funny name for it. Anyway, the cheese board here. And this, again, what I mentioned showed before. Imagine the zip tie that's coming in from the OXO tank, and that is in this direction here. So in this case here, we're imagining that the OXO tank is over this way. And let's put in, no harm if in the end you get it, it's Lego, you just flip it, put it back in. Okay, fantastic. So now I'm scrolling down. What's next? We've got a beam, looks like this is the tire part. I'm gonna scroll ahead just to see. I'm gonna put the rim in. Put that onto the axle and put some bushies on. Okay, so I have a sense of where I'm going. Let me get, looks like that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A beam with 7 pieces. So let's count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, looks like that's it. I've got the axle in the middle. And I'll put 2 pegs on the ends. Like that. I'll scroll down, I'll set that down. Grab my tire, put the rim in. And make note, the rim has got a concave side and a flat side. So a flat side here and a concave side. And we'll need that in a moment. So as it says here, the concave interface of the rim is up. So that's going up there. So let me hold the axle in place, put that on there. And it looks like I've got 1 bushing. And then the second bushing. Okay. I got those there. All right, great. And there's a little note about alternative wheels. And again, just bear in mind, as you modify, your goal is to turn the tank. All right, so I'll set that down, and we'll go to our next part, which uses these frames. Looks like it's going to be these smaller pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put some pegs in it, pegs inside the frame. Oh, good. It looks like this is what's going attaching on, hugging the sides of the motor. Great. So I'm going to take these beams and put my blue pegs in. Like that. Put that one down. I'm making 2 of these, so what the heck, I'll just do it at the same time. And that. Great, I'll grab my frame here, and I'll put my pegs in the top of the frame. Do the same for the other one, because I'm making 2. And then I've got these here ready. Let me, ooh, haha. Got ahead of myself there. Let me, again, beauty of Lego is you can always redo it. Put those there. All right, so it looks like that's there. Put that one down. Oh, boy, I need to pay attention, but that's again, okay, it's all Lego. So it looks, so the top, if these pegs are the top of it, this is going to the bottom. All right, no big deal. That's the top, this goes in the bottom. And I'll set these down here, because now I need to grab the motor, and I'm going to orient it this way, orient it to the left here, put my pegs in, the top holes, great, and then takes these, how many sides? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it fits the whole side of the motor here. There we go. Again, no worries that the color we chose here is different from the instructions. It'll work still. This is being a little difficult. Come on, you can do it. All right, so great. So I've got that there. And then I put the frames on here. And now I see why these needed to be on the bottom. So I'm orienting the motor this way. And it looks like I come into the side here, leaving that peg there free or open. Okay, so that's good there. Take my axle here, put that in the top. And here's a place again, I have a different piece with me now than I have in the instructions. I think that piece was hard to find. This is just an indicator for spinning to show you that it's the motor spinning. So any piece that fits onto an axle will work. All right, insert the motor assembly place such that all beams are flush with the front edge of the yellow plate. So here's the front edge of the yellow plate right here. Just remove this zip tie. Again, so good that these are reusable. So I'm going to plug my motor piece in. And that's flush with the front edge of the plate. And then I'll plug the frame pieces in. And let's get this in there. Okay, so again, that's flush with the front face. Everything's flush on the same plane. Okay, excellent. And lastly, we've got two pieces that kind of hold this in place better. So I'm going to, looks like I come the second one from the top there. Do that on this one too, because I know I've got two to make. And then the bottom one. Okay. And then these go, where does it go? Okay, and the hole in the cheese plate and then up to the hole in the frame. So the hole in the cheese plate up to the hole, oops, in there. Okay, and then that's pretty solid. Super. Great. And then just to check to see if the geometry is right, if I bring this up to the edge of the OXO tank and push it, it turns it.